Okay, most people who truly know me know two things. I tend to be accident prone, and I have a history of health problems. Some of these things I've done or had done are crazy, including this piercing experience. If you look closely at my face, you'll notice on my nose, right up around here, that I have a scar. How I got this scar can be laughed at today. But in the moment, it was of course only me who could put myself in such a crazy situation. So, as a child, I'm not sure how old I was, definitely before I was 10 though, my parents' kitchen counter had coffee cup hooks on it. Now, the coffee cup hooks were there, of course, for the purpose of, well, hanging coffee cups. And, you know, it makes sense, right? It makes sense to put coffee cup hooks on the counter. So of course, I was just at that perfect height where I was just a little bit taller than the counter itself. Which meant as I walked by and suddenly had to sneeze, I got hooked. It was not fun. Got hooked right here in the nose on the coffee. Like I was just like, and then I was stuck. I was stuck on the coffee cup hook. And you know, being at that young age where you don't necessarily think things clearly through right away, I kind of, instead of waiting for help to get unhooked, just ripped my head back, blood splattered everywhere, and it involved a trip to the emergency room. Now, when I sneezed, you know how when sometimes you sneeze, your head goes like this, an insane head jam, like blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, it's kind of like jamming out to some heavy metal concerts. My parents totally tell me that they saw this happen. They saw me get hooked on everything because they were standing right there in the kitchen with me. And before they could even do anything, I had torn my head away from the counter and, well, I have a scar for life because of it. All of this, of course, led to an emergency room visit. And it was one of several that I've had in my life. There was stitches, there was blood. It was such a fun time. So you might wonder, what is the moral of the story? Well, first things first, don't sneeze around things, especially counters and hooks. It's a painful experience. Second moral of the story, be patient and consider the decisions you're making before you make them. Now, obviously, as a child, you don't necessarily think that way, you know, you have to mature, you have to grow up and everything. But as an adult, it's definitely something to think about with, you know, everything that we do. The fact is, every decision we make has consequences. And unlike people seem to think, consequences are not all bad. There are good consequences and there are bad consequences. If I had not immediately ripped my head back, there may have been a simpler, less messy and painful way to get unhooked from the coffee cup hook. Obviously, sometimes we need to make immediate decisions and we don't always have time to analyze our options. But when we can, we should take advantage of that time to do so. So that's just one of many stories of things that I have been through that have led me to emergency rooms and lessons that I've learned from them. I will definitely tell you guys more of them, and if you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to ask them in the comments. I would love to communicate with you guys and get into discussions. And if you like this content that you're seeing, why not take the time to do a quick click on that subscribe button, maybe hit that notification bell, like, comment. I love to do my best to discuss topics with all of you, so if you comment, I'll probably respond, just because I'm that kind of guy. Unless all of a sudden there's like a half a bajillion comments, and then it might take some time, but I would still do my best to respond as much as I could. All that being said, until next time, don't sneeze, don't rip, take time to analyze, and we will see you guys next time.